move on his part. It's like the best city in the world. I mean, I'm partial, but I really believe that.
I split my time. I've been to 56 countries. New York is literally the best city in the entire world.
It's like the OGs were incredible. And I will never, ever say anything otherwise because I think they're incredible. I think they're still incredible. But there was like a time gap. There's a lot of stuff going on, you know, as they sort of grew up. And like we're in the middle of that stuff that's going on. It's completely different. It's just a different era.
Yeah, like it's a different era of New York as a city.
Yeah, I mean, it's like, I don't know, we do things differently. We think about things differently. Not that they thought about things in the wrong way or the right way. It's not about that. It's just different. And I think it was a brilliant move on his part.
Yeah, I mean, it is now
risky.
Very risky. I mean, people sat around, myself included, where you had these predictions of like, first of all, I've said this on the show. I didn't hate season 13 the way the whole world did.
Right.
Maybe it's just because I am a New Yorker, so I was like, I don't see what's so. We've had worse franchises and worse seasons. But yes, when it was announced, you're like, wow, what a great, brilliant idea.
Yeah, but some people were like, what a terrible, disgusting, horrible idea. This is going to be worthless. It's scary.
Was that like, and because there was this like in the beginning, look, all the interviews you did, let's face it. I mean, I even interviewed people from your cast in the beginning when I did.
Oh, you did?
I had Sion right away. Like her team reached out. So it's like when you do those first round of interviews, of course, you're like, who's the Jill Zarin? Who's the Ramona?
Oh, yeah, of course. We all got typecast.
Right.
There's 9. None of them line up.
Right. Like, I would say you were the one that people were like, oh, she's the Jill Zarin, just because, you know, like you are having Shabbat.
I am not the Jill. Like, I love you, Jill, but we're just very different.
You guys are different.
Yes.
You know, and Brynn was the Sonja. Like,
yeah,
you know,
well, that kind of still rings true.
That kind of rings true, right?
We should keep that one.
But, you know, so then I think, like, that's it. Like, you know, 3 episodes in, we're like, guys, like, we're already over this. Like, just, it's taken on a life of its own. So I think for, like, a first season, it's really now has its own identity.
Fully.
Love it or not, people. It's just, we're over that.
Yes.
So that's the great thing I think about Housewives.
And I like that. Look, I don't know that this is going to last. I have no idea. But I do like that I feel like we all have this kind of underlying mutual respect that we're just not going to go too far. You know?
You do.
I don't know if that's going to ring true. But right now, that's how I feel. I mean, I won't go too far.
I think in a way it would be like, I think that's what, to be honest, I think that's what people liked.
I hope so.
Like, you know, we're fighting over cheese and we're fighting over a phone.
And we really were fighting over it. I was really pissed about the catch thing. I really was.
And catch, I mean, we all know catch is not the
I know,
place
now I
to
just
go
say
now,
catch.
people.
I mean, it's not that bad. First of all, who the fuck cares?
Right.
Like, really, who cares? Like, they asked me to make a reservation. I made one. That was it. I didn't really think that much deeply into it. Taylor Swift was just a catch.
And by the way, like, sometimes you want to go somewhere that's not like the place.
What's the place anyway? What's the place? The 9, 0 Bond? Like, I go there all the time. Who cares? Like, it's not. I will sit in a dive bar. I will go to a diner.
This is why we're New Yorkers. I say this all the time. I would rather be in some place where nobody is in the corner with like friends than at whatever.
I don't want to see those people half the time.
I know.
Like, can you calm down and put some clothes on, please?
Like, let's go. No. So, but I think that's what people liked about it when you look at like Teresa and Melissa and they don't speak and it gets so ugly. And
that is awful. It's really sad. I really don't like that stuff. I wish they could. I swear to you, I had dinner the other night with Joe and Melissa because we were all at an event. They're so cute. And I was like, I came home and I was like, Abe, I'm going to make them make up. Like, I'm going to be, like, there's no way. I'm sure a million people feel this way, you know? But, like, it bums me out. Like,
did you tell this to Melissa that you would like to reconcile her with Teresa?
No, you're the first to hear it. Like, because, you know, I don't know. I have such a big family and we have gotten into it, like, World War III, you know? And, like, with my cousins and aunts and uncles. I mean, we have a lot of people in our family.
Yeah.
And I don't know, we always just like resolve it. And it's just such a bummer that they're not. It just really is.
Well, you now have had dinner with Melissa and Joe. Maybe your next step is to, you know, call Abe and have dinner with Teresa and Louie.
I just don't know what we would talk about.
But you loved your dinner with Melissa and Joe.
I mean, I had fun with them. You know, we were both at the same event. We went. And Joe is very, very funny, and Melissa's very sweet. Like, I mean, I don't like the whole judging people based on what I hear or what I see or like what people say. I mean, like, they're nice to us. So, I mean, unless they do something that's terrible, why would I change my view?
That's how I am. I judge each housewife based on when you're sitting in front of me, what was my experience like with you? And I don't care what's on the TV or who had a bad season. I don't care about any of that. I'm like, you don't know someone for an hour, but you get you get the vibe. You get a vibe. Yes.
Well, so what's your vibe on the Housewives?
Well,
Who did you not like?
There are plenty of people. Trust me. Some people get, full of themselves.
Yeah.
And speaking of people that are not always liked, we had this Ramona Singer. When Crystal says, there's a new RHONY and there's an old RHONY that was not nice to her, we know it wasn't Ramona because Ramona was not at BravoCon.
Right.
We had the Vanity Fair article and all these things that, she did in the past. And then she had this page 6 racially insensitive / racist moment, I think we could say. But not judging for a minute, what were you? So she wasn't at BravoCon.
If any of that is true, I think it's bad. Like, I think it's gross. And I hate to say it, but I think there does have to be a consequence. And if you can't understand what you're doing, then you need to go somewhere where they can teach you, because you are hurting people by those. Not remembering. I don't know. I don't remember everything that happened, but the things that I read, if those things happened, that's not okay. Or saying you all look the same. Didn't she say that you all look the same?
She said that she can't tell.
No. See, that's not
pretty
okay.
bad.
It's gross. It actually made my stomach drop.
Yeah.
You live in New York City, get some education. And I don't want to be going off on her because I feel bad. I'm sure she's been through it. We were at the same real estate firm and now she's no longer there. Okay. So I'm sure she's, paying for it, but it's that shit can't happen. You can't, and it's not even just about saying it. You believe these things, this is what goes through your mind. You think this is normal to think like that about people? That's a problem.
It's a problem. I think she's not aware because when she sent this text or whatever to page 6, that was that's kind of you still don't get it. She's trying to defend herself.
Where are her people around her that are helping her understand it? Somebody needs to be you are wrong and you need to take some classes. Really. She should be educated. That's not okay. And it's awful to make people feel bad. And that's what really upsets me. She's on set with all these people that are basic. And I have heard that she didn't, there are some of my crew members that would be oh, thanks for remembering my name. I'm why wouldn't I remember your name? Oh, I worked with X person for all these years and she never remembered my name. So that might just be an aloofness or a way of being but you're saying these things about a group of people and it's one group of people. You have to see that you have a prejudice. And if you can't, you should probably get some help and understanding.
Yeah, and it's also arrogant. So your crew members have told you that Ramona didn't remember their name.
That did happen. They were oh my God, you remember my name? It was day 3 or something. I was why wouldn't I remember your name? What's so crazy?
That's an arrogance thing of she remembers Sonja's name or whoever, it's just, that's an